Okay, the Delta Smelt obviously is not a viable creature, according to my advocate's claim. The Endangerment Act has protected more glorious animals such as the bald eagle, and that is very important to our country, so it is obviously a matter of choice which animal you choose to save. A quote by Dean Flores, a member of the California State Senate, says, "No one denies there are many factors at play when it comes to the decline of the smelt population, but no one is offering up a comprehensive solution to stop the pumps and cut the water." And that's obviously what Casey said in his claims was there is multiple problems, not just the pumps that are hurting the Delta Smelt. The Delta Smelt also let me give you a brief background on the Delta Smelt. The Delta Smelt will not feed in clear water, and it prefers a more turbid environment. And it likes cloudy environments also to prefer its eating habits. And there is this plant called the Edemus dorsi, or Densa, and it's a water weed that currently slows the water patterns in the river. So what it's doing is it's creating a less perfect environment for the Delta Smelt to breed. So if we spend more money instead of investing in big projects such as the Two Gates project, which a lot of conservationists and sport fishing groups oppose, if we concentrate more of our energy on getting rid of these weeds, it can create more stable environments for the Delta Smelt. There is also a non-indigenous species that is currently eating all the zooplankton, which is what the Delta Smelt mostly feeds off of. And these exotic clams introduced into the equestrian about 2 decades ago and have robbed the water much of the nutrients that Delta Smelt needs. The pumps were actually built in the 70s and 80s, and biologists at UC Davis noticed a steady decline of the Delta Smelt from the original 800,000 in the 60s. So the Delta Smelt has been increasingly declining, even and the pumping is just adding on to the effect of the Delta Smelt's death. And currently, from that reading, only 35,000 of the Delta Smelt remain. There is and a lot of my advocates were saying that the Delta Smelt is just a 3-inch fish and is concentrating on the insignificance of this fish, while a quote by Alex Brudler of this marine group said that if the smelt is recovered, it could produce a commercial fishery like its Japanese cousin, the wakasagi, or potentially be used for other animal foods. And there's also a quote by scientists that they discovered in the late 90s that the common western fence lizard may help prevent the spread of Lyme's disease. And because the infected ticks that feed off of blood, they will most likely affect the lizards instead of humans. So this is an example of how the smelt and other less interesting animals could be spared extinction because they have hidden properties that we do not know of. Kevin also talked about saying water sources were gone and millions of waters being lost to the ocean. But according to scientists, a desalinization process, which is a purification process long used by the Middle Eastern nations, just seems about the only viable way that those farmers can get the water they need. And the desalinization process is taking the water from the ocean, which contains salt, and transforming it into drinkable water that can be used for agriculture and other things. This process may be expensive and requires a large amount of energy for operation, but researchers have made recent progress in developing a new cost-cutting technology. These plants are already established down here in Southern California, and they can be started to be produced for around $5.4 million, which is a lot less expensive compared to the GATE project, which Governor Schwarzenegger supports. These desalinization process will allow farmers to get the water they need, and will allow the time for the Delta's health to establish its health back, and so that the pumps can be turned on after other problems with the Delta have been resolved. As a summary, there's a lot we don't know, said Jeff Miller of the San Francisco Bay Center for Biological Diversity. To lose a species before you understand it is tragic.